Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Gwen and the class I'm going to be offering is PiYo. It's a fusion of Pilates and yoga, my two favorite loves. And how the class will go is basically an interval style class. We'll be spending some time back and forth between Pilates core exercises as well as yoga poses. And to set yourself up for this class, the props that you'll need are a mat as well as a yoga block, which I happen to be sitting on, as well as a cushion like a folded blanket or a towel to slide underneath your knees when you're on your knees, if you're sensitive there, something to slide under them. If you don't have a yoga mat, no worries. You could just use the floor as your surface for your standing poses in yoga. You could also, instead of, if you don't have a mat for your Pilates core exercises, you could have a couple blankets maybe stacked on top of one another to give your back, your spine some cushion. If you don't have a yoga block, you could take a bath towel, fold it in half lengthwise, roll it up from short end to short end so that it's pretty much the circumference or the size of a yoga block that we'll be using a little bit in the class today. All right, so to begin, we will start sitting comfortably. I'm sitting on my block. You sit however it feels best to you. And we'll start by connecting with our breath and getting ourselves centered and grounded for our practice. So sitting comfortably, notice your hips even to the surface that you're sitting on, your spine tall towards the sky, and your hands resting on your thighs or knees. Close your eyes if you'd like, and take this time to connect to your breath. And just notice the sensation of your breath moving in and out of your body. And as you breathe your body, feel yourself letting go of what the day or the morning has brought so far. Letting go of expectation and judgment, and letting go to the present moment through your breath. And as you let go, feel yourself soften and relax. And as you soften and relax, see if you can breathe in more deeply, drawing your inhale through your nose all the way down the length of your spine to your pelvis, expanding from within. And exhaling your breath, drawing it up from your hips, up the length of your spine, and out through your nose and gently deepen within. Breathing into all of your length, all of your width, all sides of yourself, and enjoy the expansiveness of yourself. Exhaling fully all the breath completely from your body and enjoy the very center of yourself. Let's take just a few more rounds of this deep breathing. And as you're breathing yourself deeply, notice the natural movement that occurs in your body, naturally expanding with your inhale and gently contracting with your exhale. And if you'd like, place your palms together in front of your chest. And if you're doing that, place your thumbs against the center of your chest and lift your chest up through your thumbs. And I invite you to set your intention for your practice today, whatever speaks to you. It might be that you stay focused on your breathing, or it might be that you have the intention to back off from your practice a little bit if you feel a little bit too much effort in what you're doing. I invite you to enjoy the space, to move and feel your body, to be led and supported by your breath, and to be exactly who you are. Placing your hands to your thighs, opening your eyes, and let's go ahead and make our way onto all fours. We're going to set up for cat-cow. So for that, I'm going to take my fingertips towards the top of my mat. Spread my fingers wide, and notice that my shoulders are on top of my wrist creases, and that my hips are right on top of my knees. And as you're ready to move into the cow with your inhale, lift your chest, lift your hips, look up. And as you exhale, round your spine into the cat. So letting your tailbone be heavy towards the floor. Let your neck and head release heavy to the floor, and really lift your navel into your spine. As you breathe into the cow, you could curl your toes under, stretch all 10 toes into your mat if you'd like. As you exhale into the cat, you could press the tops of your feet into the floor, away from the lift of your stomach into your back. So we're going to move through a few more rounds of this. Take your time, moving with your breath, no rush. Notice that you're pressing evenly into your inner outer hands, all of your fingers. Notice the press or the reach into your toes. So just becoming more aware of all of your body from fingers to toes. And maybe one more time through. Now we're going to pause in this cat position, this rounded back position. And what I want you to do here is focus on your breathing, staying with that focus of deepening your navel to your spine, especially when you exhale. And if you'd like to give a little bit more challenge to this, you could curl your toes under, and you could hover your knees just an inch or two from your mat, from the floor, and continue to breathe a few more full, deep breaths. Think of pressing the floor away with your abdomen, with your center. A couple more breaths. One more full breath in and out. Gently lower the knees if you lifted them. And let's make our way into Child's Pose, Balasana. So opening your knees as wide apart as it helps you to bring your hips back towards your heels. Try to keep your big toes touching. Stretch your arms, fingers straight out in front of your shoulders. Rest your forehead heavy to your mat. And just give yourself a couple of full deep breaths here into your length, into your width. Another full breath in and out. And taking it into side stretch in Child's Pose, just move your body, your hands over to the right. So your hands are off to the right side of your mat on the floor. Maybe take your left hand on top of your right hand, and then rest your forehead again to your mat. And now think about trying to square your chest towards the floor and breathing into the left side of your body. So as you breathe into the left side of your body, think of stretching your left fingers away from your left hip. Another full breath in and out. And then lift yourself up gently, moving over to the other side now. So I'm taking both hands off to the left side of the mat. Right hand could be on top of left hand. Let your forehead rest heavy. Maybe square your chest towards the floor. And now think of your right fingers reaching away from your right hip and breathing into the right side of yourself. 2 full deep breaths. Another full breath in and out. Coming back to the center, take your hands towards your chest to press yourself up on the floor. Have a seat and come onto your back. When you lie down on your back, have your feet on the floor, knees bent. And just take a moment here and notice the length of your spine on your mat. Notice the reach of your tailbone from your head, the natural curvature of your spine. Just take a nice full deep breath into that. And as you exhale, draw your navel in towards your lower back and lift your knees up on top of your hips. And we'll move into the abdominal series from the Pilates mat work. So we're going to take our hands, interlace our fingers together at the webbing, place our hands behind our head, and then have the elbows in towards one another a little bit. Lift the back of your chest, shoulders, neck, and head up from the floor. And then as you're ready to exhale, extend your right leg out from your center. Pause here. Notice your lower back is imprinted into your mat. Inhale, bend the right knee back to you. Exhale, extend the left. Inhale, exhale, extend. Now you can keep your hands behind your head to support, or you could reach your arms straight past your hips with the palms facing the floor. You could also add your hands to help guide your bent knee towards your body. So just choosing wisely for yourself, and we'll do 3 more. 2 more each way. 1 more each way. And now keep both knees bent towards your chest. Hold your hands together and place your hands behind your head again. Moving into double leg stretch. As you inhale, extend both legs out from your center, aware that your lower back is in the mat. Exhale, bring your knees back to you. And again, inhale and exhale. Same idea, you could reach your arms long past your hips if you don't need to hold your head. You could also add your arms in this exercise. Hands reach for the shins, and then the arms and legs reach out together. Exhale. And 3 more of these. And 2. And 1. And hold your head again. Take your both legs up towards the sky. Exhale, lower your right leg towards the floor. Inhale, lift your leg. Exhale, lower your left. Again, just aware that lower back is staying imprinted. You could add that same challenge of releasing your arms at your sides. Now you could stay with this single leg lower lift, or you could try both legs lowering at the same time. I'll hold my head again. We'll just do a couple more rounds wherever you're at. 1 more time through. Knees are bent, moving into the crisscross. Extend your left leg, twist up and over to the right, let your breath out. Inhale, exhale, up and over to the other side. So as you're going through this action, think of your chest lifting up and over the center towards your outer thigh. And try to feel your lower back is still imprinted into your mat. And we'll just do 1 more of these each side. And we'll gently lower down and rest. Those are fun. So the soles of your feet together, your knees open wide apart. So this is Supta Baddha Konasana from yoga. Arms in any position that feels comfortable. And now just focus on taking a few deep breaths into your abdominals, into your hips. And as you exhale, letting go of that physical effort. And a couple more. And 1 more full breath in and out. And take your hands to reach for your outer thighs or your knees. Bring the knees together and towards your chest. Now holding on to the front of your shins, give yourself a firm squeeze of those thigh bones into your hips, a gentle rock and roll side to side, massaging your lower back. And you can turn onto the side and press up with the help of your hands or rock forward and back until you sit up. And we'll make our way back to all fours. And we're going to set up for downward facing dog. So coming onto all fours, fingers spread wide again. Curl your toes under, take a breath. Exhale and lift your body up and back. Maybe move your feet a little further back from your hands. And see that your feet, your toes are pointed forward. Offer some bend to your knees so that it's easier to stretch your spine away from your fingers. Let your eyes look towards the space between your inner thighs. And then from here, start to walk your dog gently. Lower one heel as you bend the opposite knee. Inhale, exhale to the other side. Let's take your time with this. Enjoy that stretch through your calves, the backs of your ankles. Maybe 1 more each way. Just notice that you're balanced with this on both sides. And then let your heels lower to the floor any amount that's not forcing, maybe keeping a little bend in the knees. Take a breath, and as you're ready to exhale, we're going to pull forward to a plank. So coming into your straight arm plank, shoulders on top of your wrists, try to set your heels vertical on top of your toes. And you can modify this just by lowering your knees to your mat. And now think about toning your thighs, your glutes, your abdominals. Stay here and breathe in and out 3 full breaths. Think of pressing the floor away with your center, especially when you exhale. 1 more breath in and out. And gently lower your knees. When you lower your knees, maybe let the tops of your feet rest on your mat, and then gently pull your chest and your hips forward, and feel a sense of opening the front of your hips. When you're ready to exhale, we're going to lower into a modified chaturanga. So we're going to bend the elbows, so we're going to point back, and we're just going to lower the body as much as we feel like we're in control of that. And then inhale, press the arms straight. Exhale as you lower, keep your eyes looking forward, your chest open through the collarbones. Inhale, straighten. 2 more. Exhale, lower into your low plank. Inhale, straight arms. Exhale, lower, and pause here. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, gently lower all the way down to your mat. So stretching out fully on your front body, let's set up for Cobra. So we're going to take our hands, our fingertips, basically to the alignment of your low chest, and then have your legs, your feet about hip-width distance apart behind you. So press your toenails into the floor, lift your kneecaps up, press your pubic bone into the floor, and think about lifting your navel into your back. As you're ready to inhale, bring your chest forward and up from the floor, any amount that feels good to your back. And as you exhale, lower your spine back down. We'll do 2 more of these. As you inhale into the Cobra, think of energetically sort of drawing the heel of your palms back as you lift your chest up and forward. Exhale, lower. 1 more time. Inhale, lifting into your shape of Cobra. And exhale, lower. Let's press back to Child's Pose for a moment. And as you come into Child's Pose, this time maybe let your arms be alongside your calves with your palms open, your forehead heavy to the floor, and give yourself a couple of breaths into that space between your shoulder blades. Another full breath in and a full breath out. Take your hands beside your chest, press yourself up. Now we're going to make our way back to all fours, just kind of setting our fingertips up towards the front of the mat again. And we're going to set ourselves into a forearm plank from here. So lower your elbows onto your mat, and when you do that, either keep the palms flat or you could interlace your hands together. See that your elbows are not too wide apart, your shoulders on top of your elbows for the most part. And then take 1 foot, curl the toes under behind you, and then the other foot with it. Try to have your legs and feet together. And now your heels, again, vertical on top of the toes. And then draw your chest forward from your heels and focus on your breath. Again, you could modify by lowering your knees to the mat. And we'll stay here with the breath, or you could gently rock forward on your toe tips with an inhale and back through your heels with an exhale. And we'll do 4 more of these. And 3, concentrate on those toned thighs, the inner thighs, as well as glutes and abdominals. A couple more. I think I lost count. That might happen sometime. And then gently lower down to the knees and have a seat. And then when you have a seat, we're going to take that yoga block or your rolled up towel and place that between your inner thighs. Once you have that, just notice that you're sitting evenly on your hips. You are going to place your hands maybe behind your thighs to start your half roll back. So when you sit, just sit up nice and tall. And then as you're ready to exhale, curl your tailbone under, roll your hips back. And as your spine rolls back, really focus on rolling back as much as you can. Keep your feet down, your shoulders relaxed, your abdominals working. And then take a breath, kind of squeeze that yoga block between your thighs. Exhale, round your back forward and sit up tall. Take a breath. Exhale, curl the tailbone under, roll back. You can always have your arms extended out in front of you, maybe a little wider than your shoulders, palms facing in. Inhale, exhale, round forward. Sit up tall, and again, as you exhale, roll back, focus on the squeeze of your block and the deepening of your navel into your spine. Inhale, exhale, forward. And we're gonna do one more, rolling back where you feel like you can pause and stay here for a few moments. Now you could certainly keep holding your thighs, or if you have your arms extended out in front of you, try inhaling to open your arms out wide from your chest, and then exhale, arms in front of your chest. Inhale, open both arms, and exhale, close. And one more time, inhale, and exhale. Take a breath, exhale, round forward. Place the block to the side. Take the soles of your feet together, so we're coming into Baddha Konasana. So with the soles of your feet together, either hold onto your feet or your ankles, sit up nice and tall, and then as you exhale, just let yourself round forward. Let your elbows press against your inner thighs, your knees, to help stretch your thighs away from your hips. Let's give yourself a couple of breaths here. Exhaling, letting go. Another full breath in, full breath out. And sitting up, we're gonna make our way back to all fours. So now we're gonna set up for that downward facing dog action again. So the fingers again spread wide apart, curl the toes under, take a breath, exhale, downward facing dog. And as you land in your down dog, sense that you're sort of stretching the mat apart with your toes and your fingers. And breathe into this length of your backside. Let's give it another full deep breath in and a full breath out. And as you're ready to inhale, let's pull forward to a plank just for a moment. And then we're going to lean to the left. And as you exhale, take your right foot and step it forward. So we're making our way into a low lunge with our right foot in front. So notice your alignment here, right knee bent over your right ankle, your back left heel on top of your left foot toes, your chest open, your spine long from head to tail, and notice your breath in this shape. So from here, we're gonna move into lizard, what I think is a nice hip opener, but you might have a different opinion. Anyway, we're gonna lower the left knee to your mat or that cushion, and then we're gonna just set the top of your left foot to rest on the floor. And then we'll take our hands to the inside of our right foot and just kind of move your right foot out a little bit to the right. And notice your right hand is against the inside of your right foot, and your left hand is about shoulder width distance from there. And then let your right leg and your right arm really hug against one another. And now pull your hips forward, your chest forward, so you feel that opening through the front of your left thigh and hip. And if you want deeper stretch, you could curl the left foot toes under behind you and lift your left knee up. And that might be enough there as you focus on your breathing. If you wanted to go deeper still, you could always lower your elbows, your forearms down on your block or on the mat. And so now think of, again, hugging your right thigh in against your right arm, toning your left thigh and your left glutes, and just let your neck and head be comfortable. Give yourself a couple more full deep breaths. Another full breath in and out. And then lowering that left knee, if you lifted it, coming onto your hands again. And then from here, we're just gonna step the right knee back with the left. We're on all fours. We're gonna curl the toes under and find our plank. So coming into your plank, again, give yourself a full deep breath in and out. And then when you inhale, let's lean a little bit to the right to help you to step your left foot forward. Taking your time with that, setting yourself up for your low lunge with your left foot in front. So looking at your alignment, see that your left knee is stacked on top of your left ankle. Your right heel behind you is on top of your right foot toes. Your chest is open. Your spine is long from head to tail. Just notice your breath here. And moving into your lizard pose, what we're going to do here is lower the right knee maybe on your mat or your cushion. Let your left foot step out a little wider so that you have space to take your hands about shoulder width distance apart with your left hand right against the inside of your left foot. And then from here, keep your left inner leg and left arm pressing into one another. Pull your chest forward, your hips forward, and really feel a sense of that front of your right hip and thigh opening, breathing into that. And that might be where you stay, or you could curl the toes under. You could lift your right knee up from the floor, giving yourself a deeper stretch. Again, really toning the right thigh and now the right glute. Staying here, if you wanted to go deeper still, you could lower your forearms down onto your yoga block or on the mat. Just try to keep your left leg and arm connected and keep a sense of pulling your spine forward from your back heel, and then let your neck and head release. A couple more breaths. And then gently lower the right knee if you lifted it, and then take your hands back to the floor. And let's step the left knee back with the right. And we're just gonna sit back into that child's pose again. So again, let the knees open apart. Again, maybe let your arms rest alongside your calves, palms open towards the sky. And a couple of full deep breaths. And another full deep breath in and a full breath out. Take your hands towards your chest to help press yourself up. Have a seat and lie down on your back, and let's set up for some leg circles. So when you lie on your back, go ahead and stretch your left leg out long from your hip. And then as you exhale, let's take your right leg extended up towards the sky. So let's keep your left foot flexed on the floor, point the toes of your right foot, turn your right leg out slightly, and circle your right leg to the left. And as you start to make your circles to the left and stay in this direction, think about how you're keeping your pelvis, your hips really even on your mat. And then think about how your breath is flowing through your body. So your circle could be slower, it could be faster, it could be smaller, it could be bigger. It all depends on your level of control, stabilizing your body while you're just circling this leg in your hip. And then we'll pause and circle the other direction. Now, if you wanted more challenge, you could always lift the bottom leg to a hover from the floor. I think that's fun, but I'm a weirdo. And then from here, we're gonna go ahead and lower the left leg. Let's just hug the right knee into the chest. Give that a good squeeze, that thigh bone into the chest. And then stretch your right leg out from your hip. Flexing your right foot on the floor now. Exhale, lift your left leg up to the sky. So now point the toes of your left leg, turn your left leg out slightly in the hip, and now circle your left leg to the right and around. So again, as you're circling this leg and your hip, really try to feel your two hips even and stable on your mat. Again, you can make the circles bigger, smaller, faster, slower, just depends on your control. You could always hover that bottom leg from the floor if you'd like. And then let's circle the other way. And as you circle the other way, just notice your breath. A few more. Lower the right leg if you lifted it, and then draw the left knee into your chest. Give that thigh a firm squeeze into your hip, and then bring the right knee in with it. So moving into TikTok, or an action of working your internal obliques, let's take your hands to hold onto the edges of your mat. Now, if you're not lying on a mat, you just have your arms at your sides, a little bit wider from your body with your palms flat on the floor. And then notice when you take your both legs up towards the sky, that your legs are really hugging strongly together. And just sort of flare your toes apart. And then with your exhale, take your hips, your legs to the right. Now when this happens, hold this position and notice that the back of your left chest and shoulder are staying heavy on the floor, and that you're really pulling your waistline in from your toes. And then inhale, come back to center with your hips and legs. Exhale, take your hips and legs to the left. Your inner thighs really glued together, the back of your right chest and shoulder heavy on the floor, your waistline pulled in from your toes. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, and you go to the right as much as it feels like you can keep the back of your left side upper body heavy to the floor. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. One more each way. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. And then come back to the center. Draw the knees to your chest. Give a firm squeeze. And again, you could roll to the side, press up with the help of your hands, or rock forward and back until you sit up. All right, we're gonna make our way back to all fours, and we're gonna set up for our down dog again. So once you have your fingers spread wide, curl your toes under, exhale, and lift up and back into your downward facing dog. Again, take some moments here with your breath to feel the shape of this pose. Maybe it's easier to lower your heels to the mat now. Maybe it's easier to press your thigh bones back. Maybe it's easier to feel the stretch of your spine from your fingers and the support of your front body into your back body. Take another full breath in and out. With your inhale, pull forward to a plank. Pause here on your exhale. And then lean a little bit to the left with your inhale. And then as you exhale, step your right foot forward towards your right thumb. So we were here before. We're setting up in that low lunge action again. So just take a moment again to see or feel your alignment. Right knee over ankle, left heel on top of toes, your spine long from your head to your tail. And then from here, let's keep our left hand on the floor underneath the shoulder or maybe on a yoga block. And then twist to your right, taking your right arm up towards the sky. And as you revolve your low lunge, feel how your right outer hip is hugging in and back, and how you're keeping this left thigh bone lifted towards the sky. Really reach your right fingers up away from your left hand. Give yourself another full deep breath in and a full breath out. And then lower your right hand to the floor. Now from here, we're going to take this back left foot, we're going to turn it out so we can lower our left heel to the floor. And if that's just not happening for you, just stay on your left foot toes. We're going to set up for a warrior one. So setting up for warrior one, see that your right heel in front is lined up with your back heel. And then from there, keep your front knee bent over ankle. And then take your time initially, maybe just to take your hands to your hips. And feel that you're really steady with your feet pressing evenly into the floor. And then make your way on top of your hips. Take your time, no rush. And then when you've landed on top of your hips, let your tailbone be heavy. And then just think about the ribs and the chest squaring up towards the front of your mat. Maybe keep your hands to your hips or take your both arms up to the sky. And if you're doing that, try to get your arms alongside your ears. And maybe looking up towards the sky.